Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Stutz's Soapbox. I'm Stutz. Well, we're back in the tiki bar. It looks a little different. I pulled the grass skirting off, and we're wrapping the bar with bamboo. And we're adding more things to it, and it's, work in progress. Always will be. As long as I live here in the tropics, where it's beautiful. It's raining right now. Not too bad because you can't hear it up on top. Hey, if you're a returning viewer, welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hey, if you like what comes across on here, subscribe, hit the like button, share it with somebody, comment. Comments always help. I tried doing this last night. Was doing it out on the golf course, but the focus, the light was going in and out, in and out, and it was making me sick. I didn't want you to have to put up with that. I only do a one-take gig, no safeties, but I will check it just to make sure it doesn't, make you want to go hurl somewhere. A lot happened. I was going to do this one last Wednesday, but as we all know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated last Wednesday. And it was kind of messed up because I was going to do it on, the gun violence and everything else, something I was going to tie into what I did before the last video I did. There's a lot of issues going on. You see a lot of gun violence in the news, but you don't see stuff that's happening in the inner cities. Chicago over Memorial Day, 54 people shot, 7 of them unalived. But you don't hear about that very much unless it's somebody complaining, how come you're not talking about this? Because, well, that's in the hood. They don't talk about what's happening in the hood, right? Because that's black on black. And even the black leadership in those cities, like Mayor Johnson or whatever his name is in Chicago, he doesn't give a rat's ass about his own people because that's the hood, man. Democrats don't care about black. I hate to say that. They don't. They got you voting for them in mass numbers, and they figure they have you. That's why for the last 50 years. 50 years or better, when 64 is when Civil Rights Act passed, right? And Johnson said those famous words, I signed this, and those ends will be voting for us for 200 years. He wasn't wrong, was he? They keep telling you they're going to get you out of poverty. They ain't got you out of shit. Obama, the first black president, had both houses, the Senate and the Congress. How many reparations bills were put forward? 0. But y'all keep voting for him. Man, I know there's a lot of Republicans I don't like. Trust me. There ain't a Democrat I do like. I mean, it's sad, people. It is sad that we keep electing the same idiots that promise to do all kinds of shit and don't do a damn thing. Jack and Coke, by the way. Oh, yeah. I'm retired. That's why I'm doing this at night in the tiki on what is this, Tuesday? Friday was my retirement. I spent the weekend a little bit twisted, um, to say the least. Now, getting to Charlie Kirk, and just because you don't agree with what the man says, he didn't promote hate speech. He just said speech that you hated. Wasn't hate speech. He was trying to engage in dialogue. Did I agree with everything he said? No. But does that give you the right to get up on a building with a Mauser? And I'm still trying to figure out how that Mauser got off the roof when he wasn't carrying it when he climbed down, jumped down. And that's not a very easy weapon to break down. To be put back together, wrapped up in a towel, and put in a box in the woods. Explain that one to me. I don't think you can. But why, if you look at all the mass shootings, not the hood shootings, the mass shootings that have happened lately, they've all been from the left side. There would be a lot of people still breathing if you people on the left weren't so violent. You notice after Charlie Kirk's assassination, no towns burned down, nobody threw bricks through windows, nobody looted any stores, unlike during George Floyd when, they everybody burned their own towns down, looted everything, tried to burn up federal buildings, killed people. That didn't happen. There's a big difference between right and left. Right is right, you know, they'll they'll talk about it and they're ready for it if it does happen. Trust me. I'm a peaceful man. I'm not a harmless man. Harmless men can't be peaceful men. I'm peaceful because I want to be peaceful. I am capable of extreme violence, carnage like you won't believe. Oh, and I don't need a firearm to do it. So, don't worry about it. But I don't do it. Why? You have a right to speak. You have a right to think. A lot of you really do need to think. Quit listening to the talking heads that are telling you, oh, they're Nazis, they're See, if you hadn't heard for the last 10 years that Trump's a Nazi, Trump's a fascist, but remember, when you silence people because they're saying stuff you don't like, that's fascistic. You are acting like the fascists. Antifa, they are fascists. They're not anti-fascist because they will silence you for your thoughts because you don't agree with them. Man, we got to start talking to each other, have dialogue with each other, or pray to God that it doesn't hit the fan, because if it does, America as we know it is done. And a lot of you will be unalived. So it won't matter to you because you won't be around. I probably won't either. I'll get caught one way or another in the middle of it somehow. But boys and girls, You want to keep this country? You want to keep freedom? You want to keep to where you can speak your mind when you want to without repercussions? You can see it with all this stuff about free Palestine. Queers for Palestine. Hey, great. Queers for Palestine. Go to Palestine and say the same thing. They'll throw you off a building because they don't believe in the way you're living. And it's against their deity. Get it together, boys and girls. Start thinking about it. Because shit's about to get real if we don't. If we don't start talking and start calming down, it's going to get real. And when it does, it's lights out, man. It's lights out. America as we know it ceases to exist. The Constitution goes out the window. You're going to see the blue helmets running around here. Them candy asses. Man, I'm glad I'm to the point where I'm at. I really am. Hey, if you got anything out of this, or you think somebody needs to hear it, share it. Subscribe to the channel. Comment. Tell me I'm wrong. As you can see, I got a pretty good sized set of shoulders on me. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. Think about what's up. Tell me what you think we can do to change this shit. Excuse me. Anyway, enough said. Hey, I love y'all. I'm out.